This is an uncensored podcast about sex and sexual topics. Listener discretion is advised. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the person or persons sharing them. Some names have been changed to preserve the anonymity of its participants. Hi, lovers! Welcome back to Make Sex With Me. I'm your host, Drew Michael. Just a reminder, if you haven't yet done it, go ahead and rate, review, and subscribe on whatever platform you're listening on. We really need your support, and if you don't do it, I'm going to come to your house and beat you up. And so is Priscilla. Hi, Priscilla!
Hi, what an intro.
I know. That last part I just made up. I've never beaten anybody up before.
I would hate to beat someone up. I'd be really bad at it.
I would just honestly go to their house and I would just be so annoying until they did it.
Really?
I'd be like, hey, what's up? Basically, I would force them to listen to the podcast 24/7 on a loop.
Yeah. I think I might just leave a note and hope that they respond or subscribe.
And then leave another note the next day. And
I will follow up with a more aggressive tactic each time. It'll escalate.
And then it could be like, well, you probably didn't watch The Watcher. Did you watch The Watcher?
No.
You shouldn't watch it while you're home alone. But it's so good.
I thought you were just going to say you shouldn't watch it.
No, you should watch it. I mean, it's like a eerie, spooky show. It's a true story, set in New Jersey, so nowhere near Montana.
For some reason, I thought it was that Henry Cavill show on Netflix where he's in the wedding. Is that it?
That's The Witcher.
Oh yeah. So
literally the
train.
Oh, what was that?
I live across the tracks.
You live on the other side of the tracks from me.
I do.
What you're saying.
Oh, it's noisy.
And the
Sorry.
other side of you're on the other side of two mountain ranges.
Yeah, on the other side of the country.
So you're in Montana.
Correct.
Dog sitting,
house sitting, learning how to be a mountain woman. I'm actually really grumpy today because I got stuck in the snow about 10 feet outside of the house. So that's a great place to get stuck in the snow. But I managed
your car or your body?
I'm driving my cousin's truck. I'm house sitting for my cousin. And her truck got stuck in the snow because there was 5 feet of snow that came yesterday. And I didn't know where I was driving, and I drove off a ditch. I got out of it. I learned how to do that, which is really cool. But then
you picked up the truck with your hands?
I attempted. I was like, what if I could just rock it? No, that's just not possible. I'm too small for that. And but I shoveled myself out of it. And then afterwards, I found out that the car doesn't really work. It just keeps on shutting off. I'll drive and then it'll turn off. So I'm kind of stranded here.
Wait, where's your car?
My car's in town. I decided to switch to my cousin's truck because it has 4-wheel drive. My car is a hybrid and probably won't handle the mountain roads very well. So... But now I have a dead truck But I mean, it's a happy story. My neighbors here saved me. They confirmed that the car is not working and they're going to drive me to my rental place on Saturday. And I rented a Subaru with winter tires and 4-wheel drive. And be
I feel like this is like a horror movie, where we find out that your cousin has been wanting to murder you for a long time, because this is the second thing that's gone kaput, right? That she like failed to tell you about.
Yeah. The other one was the power going out for like 12 hours.
Which for someone from LA is like the worst possible scenario.
I really love electricity. Yeah, you nailed it, Drew. I feel like I'm being tested or like primed for murder. So
yeah,
either way, I just kind of have to laugh about it. And I mean, I'm really good at chopping wood now. And I can shovel out of a snow ditch. That's cool.
Yeah.
And I know that like I won't get bored sitting in the dark for several hours. Things to do.
Have you secured the axe? Like, do you know where it is at all times? Like,
well, I mean, I definitely think that I'm gonna die if I have to like fight my cousin. She knows how to shoot things, and she's probably like a lot scrappier than I am. But
do you have a gun with you? Like, what's happening?
No, I just really have like my wits, which are not very attuned to Montana mountain. I mean, I know how to drive on the freeway in LA. That's probably the most street skills that I've honed since my time on this planet. But yeah,
I think we should send your cousin to LA to drive on the freeway and see how she does.
Right.
But she's probably from California though, right? Or no?
She's from Dallas. It's a good point. She was a city girl and then acclimated as one does around here. I have no choice but to get used to it. So
yeah,
here I am.
You've made your snowy bed and now you must lie in it.
Oh my God. I did a sexy thing. I was inspired by Chelsea Handler. Have you seen her like 47-year old birthday Instagram where she's like skiing topless down a mountain in Canada? She just has like these like little sticker pasties.
Yeah, I did see that.
I worked out and I was really hot after working out and I was like, I'm gonna make a naked snow angel. And I did. It was awesome.
Did you document this
I did.
Thing?
I did. I sent it to Viv.
Oh, Viv must have been so excited to see that.
I think Viv was more just like, wow, you did that, hey?
Have you ever you were just topless or you were completely naked?
I was just topless. I didn't want to be completely naked. It was like a little chill thrill on the top half.
Yeah, I think if you send completely naked photos of yourself making snow angels to England, I think it's trafficking. I think they call it sex trafficking. Not sure.
I mean, maybe you can give me some advice on this. It's like, how does one do a full body selfie naked and look good?
Well, how did you just like throw the phone up in the air and jump into the frame? And like, how did you do it?
So I was flat on the fluff and then I put the phone in front of me and then I just made sure to catch some nip and some fluff so that.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was a tasteful thirst selfie.
Yeah.
Thirst trap. I mean, I assumed you would like set the phone up somewhere on the porch and, you know. I don't know.
No, I could have done a timer, but
like Ice Bucket Challenge style. Like you were like, I'm gonna do a naked snow angel, and then you know. I thought that's what you were doing, but I love that. How long were you able to be topless in the snow before you like hated it?
Honestly, I didn't really. I think after I took the photo, I thought, wow, this is kind of lame. I don't want to be naked anymore, and just put my clothes back on. I did not. It wasn't because I was cold, so it was like, oh,
You're
I did
like the
that.
opposite. You're the opposite of a nudist. You like prefer to wear clothes all the time,
It was
if
pretty
possible.
exhilarating to be naked outside, though. That was cool. I mean, well, top half naked
Oh, I always love to be naked outside.
in the snow as well.
I wouldn't say that. I don't think I've done that before. I usually like summer nudity.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and when I was living in Michigan, we used to get in the hot tub and then we'd jump into the snowbank and then get back in the hot tub. That was always fun, but we were never, I mean, we probably were naked a couple times. Me and my dad. I'm kidding. That never happened. Got weird.
Well,
Me and my friends would do
uh,
that.
that sounds
It
nice.
was a lot of fun.
Like
It was
the
always really nice.
all
Do you
natural
well?
snow bath.
Do you have a hot tub on site or anything like it?
No, but there's a very, very sweet bathtub, which I take many baths. And there is a sweet wood stove, so I get nice and toasty. Um, and no, but no hot tub. There should be one though.
Ugh. I would so if I had that setup that your cousin has, I would like have one of those ones where you fill it with water and then you use wood to heat it.
Oh my God,
That
yeah,
would be so good. And I would just be naked and because it's really beautiful to be in a hot tub like when it's actually snowing. It's like so cool.
Ooh, that would be gorgeous. Well, when I see
Yeah.
you in December, we can ask Henry if we can use his hot tub.
And then we could turn on a snow machine and recreate snow falling.
I mean, we could, or forget the snow part. Just be nice to do an outdoor heated, wood heated tub
Yeah.
in South Carolina, minus
I
snow.
mean, it's
I've had enough
literally
snow.
70. It's like 70 here right now. I mean, there might be a hurricane coming. Like, I don't even know.
Oh yeah, there's a hurricane that hit Florida, right? Did you?
Yeah,
Did
but
you?
it's not nearly as bad. What?
I
Why are
was
you
laughing because
laughing?
Tiffany Trump is supposed to get married at Mar-a-Lago this weekend, but she can't because of Hurricane Nicole.
Oh my god. But honestly, it's not even that bad. I feel like she could still get married.
She could get married, but she thinks she invited like hundreds of people to fly in from out of state, and like people are told they can't travel.
I think they were all like, she was lucky to get them anyway because nobody likes her. So it was like, they were like, ugh, just one more thing. Really, Tiffany? We're not coming. We just can't do it. We hate Nicole, Tiffany. We can't do it.
And she can't
And there
even
was,
cry to her dad because her dad is really grumpy about the election.
yeah, there was no red wave. Everyone's blaming him. Oh
I
my God.
know.
He's getting, when you blame, this is the funniest thing about Trump. When you blame him, he goes on like a name calling bender. He apparently is name calling all the governors that don't like him right now.
Oh
Like
yeah.
he called Ron DeSantis Ron DeSanctimonious or something.
Yes, it is.
I
This is like
even
the biggest word he knows. I don't even know how he came up with that.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter if it works in the sentence. He's just like, it sounds bad, so here you go. And everyone that loves Trump is like, ha, that's the most amazing thing I've ever heard. We're so smart. Yeah. But
He's
I just love that. I mean, it's still such a delicate time. I mean, like, we still don't know who's got control of the House or the Senate. It's
yeah.
like really delicate, but I think they're just they're just like so upset or like surprised that it wasn't just like a sweeping victory.
Yeah. The like all the news reports are saying that the red wave that was expected was more of a ripple. I mean, there were still a lot of Democrats that got elected. No, I'm sorry, Republicans that got elected. Like that, I think I saw some stat where there's like 200 elected officials that got elected that deny the 2020 results too. So that's great for a democracy. What else? And yeah, I don't know. What were your takeaways for the midterms?
The midterms for me were, I mean, I'm really sad. I mean, there was some really amazing politicians running in the gubernatorial races, like Beto and Stacey Abrams. I was really, really excited about Stacey Abrams because she's just like, I think she's the most intelligent politician I've ever heard speak. Like, I don't understand how anyone could say anything bad about her. She's literally a genius.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she just knows what's what. She's been on the ground. She knows what's what. She knows the statistics. And no one's more deserving of governor than she is.
I know. She should definitely be governor. And she wrote like all those like sexy novels too.
Oh, she wrote sexy novels?
Did you not know that? Yeah. She is like a romance writer. She has like a pseudonym. I don't remember what it is, but yeah, she on top of being a badass woman, she also writes like boudoir busters. It's so hot.
Oh my God, I want to read all of them.
Yeah, that'd be so cute.
Why am I not reading them right now?
Don't read them right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really awful that she lost. What was interesting about Georgia is that there were like people voted for Brian Kemp, who eventually won, but there are more people who voted for Brian Kemp and Raphael Warnock than Brian Kemp and Herschel Walker. So like it was kind of like a split ticket. So there are lots of swing voters, I suppose, in Georgia is what I'm saying. So there are more people who wanted Raphael Warnock, the Democrat, to win than for Stacey Abrams to win as governor, which is interesting.
Yeah, so Warnock is running for Senate.
Right. Yeah. So
from Georgia.
Yeah, so he got more votes than Stacey Abrams did, even though they're both Democrats.
Who's that other hot guy who won in the last midterm from Georgia?
John Ossoff?
Must have been a Senate. Yes.
Yeah, he's cute.
Where's his hot little booty? What's he up to? Is he something again or no?
He's still senator. He didn't have he wasn't up for re-election.
Oh, that's so hot. I'm fully interested in hotter people being politicians.
Are you?
I mean, except for in the case of that one governor, I think it's from like Nevada or whatever. I'm sorry, Nevada. What's the one? She was a big like campaigner against like trans girls playing sports. Like she's trying to protect girls' athletics.
Oh, I don't know. Sounds like an asshole though.
She's so beautiful, and she's like equally as beautiful as the governor of Michigan, except for she's a total C-word, and I guess they reelected the governor. What?
The governor of Michigan's a total smokestack. So hot.
She's so hot, but she's too hot almost. Like I don't even like trust her because I don't trust she's naturally that hot. Like she's had
fake hot is so hot.
She's had a lot of work done. And that's weird because you don't see a woman like that in Michigan. It's like, it would be just as weird as seeing a woman like that in Montana.
I think this is so funny. I think like she's on camera all the time. She gets her photograph taken constantly. She probably wants to get like a little bit of talks here and there, just so she looks good in front of the cameras.
I mean, Joe Biden had a little bit of talks during the Obama administration. This woman...
Totally.
This woman is like... It's like they're injecting... And I don't want to give them any ideas. I don't want to give the right any ideas, but it is kind of like they're injecting baby cells into her face or something. If
Maybe. She looks fantastic.
If anything's coming out of abortion, it's that they're injecting the dead babies into her face.
Yes, this helps everybody.
It does. It helps, especially the babies, because they don't have to be alive right now.
Especially people's faces.
Especially the people that are trying to assassinate her constantly. What I'm like so out of the loop. What was this like assassination attempt on Nancy Pelosi that affected her husband?
Oh gosh. Yuck. David DePape. He was a 4chan right-wing zealot who wanted to prove a point to Democrats, I guess, and knock out Nancy Pelosi's niece. And he's definitely radicalized by like the Trump MAGA right-wing conspiracy shit. He probably thinks that Nancy is a lizard, pedophile, all that stuff. And Nancy wasn't home because David DePape wasn't doing his research. He probably should just like checked her Twitter or something like that.
Right.
And her husband was home instead. And he wanders in and is like, "Where's Nancy? Where is Nancy?" And Paul Pelosi is able to go like, "Oh yeah, like she's not here. Let's just like sit down, calm down a little bit." And so it convinces him to like calm down a little bit while he hightails it to the bathroom where he texts or calls the police and goes like, "There's somebody here trying to kill me." And while he's like in the bathroom, the police come like really quickly. But like by the time they arrive, Paul Pelosi and this crazy dude are like already in a tussle. And he manages to like smack his hammer against his skull. And so now Paul Pelosi has a fractured skull and some other serious injuries. He's going to make a full recovery. But yeah, that is the story.
I'm so confused because I'm like, so when Nancy Pelosi is not at her house, there's just nobody protecting it?
Right. Her security detail is with her when she's traveling, but not for her family.
But
just
like,
her.
what's to prevent a person from like going into her home and like planting something like a bomb or a bug or like, it's like,
yeah,
what?
Yeah, you're right. It's getting really bad, and that's like the big concern is that people are becoming more and more radicalized now. It's like I did my other takeaway from the elections were like, Republicans are like crime is going up. It's so dangerous now. Democrats want to defund the police, but it's these right-wing assholes who are like smacking people's heads with hammers and like doing mass shootings and wanting more guns. I don't feel any safer when Republicans are in charge. So it's just like a bunch of hypocrisy.
Yeah.
I don't get why people fall for that bullshit.
Did I tell you about, there's this woman that comes to my my gym and she is terrible. She also dyes her hair like, well, actually, if she was like a Gen Z person, I would actually be like, "Oh my god, your hair's so cute." But she is very much not. She's like in her like late 60s maybe, and she has like purple black hair, but the two smallest pieces in the front that come straight down on either side of her eyes are like a yellow gold bleached like strips, and it's like it's the weirdest hair to where she like just looks kind of evil only because of who she is. Really, she's worn shirts like the day after Roe v. Wade was overturned. I think I talked about this already. She wore a shirt that said straight out of, what did it say? It said, fuck, I can't remember what it said, but it was like a straight out of Compton, but it had to do with like abortion being bad. So it was like appropriative, and it was also like anti-abortion, and it was just like so insensitive at the same time. She's also worn the shirt that says "My pronouns are patriot,"
Oh no!
And then
an asshole.
she wears All Lives Matter shirts too.
Ew.
She's so gross, and she is probably pro guns. And she the other day was freaking out because somebody left the outside door to the pool area open because it was really hot in there, and they were like, we need to get some air in here. And she started freaking out, and she's like, you gotta close that door, like someone could come in here and shoot us. And we were like, well, yeah, but they could come through the glass door too, like that's not stopping them. Also, like, we don't have to live in fear, by the way, like we could just have less fucking guns. But it was just like really weird. Like, these people are all like, they're all so scared and they're so brainwashed, and it's crazy. They're acting crazy.
So brainwashed. I really don't understand Republicans and their values. And like, the other thing that people say that like Republicans are good at is like the economy, or like the reason to vote in Republicans is so that they'll fix inflation, which is such bullshit. Like, how on earth is a Republican supposed to fix something like gas prices or inflation? Or like, are they going to solve like the Ukraine crisis? Because I mean, that I will definitely vote for a Republican if they're going to do that. Are they going to change like wheat prices? Yeah, sure. If you can do that, I'll vote for you. But like, and also, like, it's not as if like they're like, having a Republican president means that we're going to have like a sparkling economy anyway. We had a great economy under Obama and Clinton, and we also had a shitty economy under Bush. And so it's so, I don't know, like, people are so dumb. Like, people vote for Republicans, like, and they're just giving their vote to corporations.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going on a rant now, so you can stop me.
No, it totally makes sense. The other thing I was thinking about today, because they were saying that inflation's gone down 7.7% in October.
Oh, wow.
And I was thinking, like, but isn't there always, like, a rise in inflation during an election year? Like, I mean, it's just, like, whenever anything is, like, not for sure, I feel like things get a little bit pricey for a minute. Like, and then, I don't know, it's also, there's this other thing. What's that guy, what's it called? What's Trevor Noah's show called?
The Daily Show?
The Daily Show. So, you know when they send correspondents out to, like, interview people on the street, and there's that tall white guy who's really funny.
Jordan Klepper?
I think so. He's, like, single-handedly proven many a time that, like, chronological order means literally nothing to some of these people. Like, he got someone to say that that Obama was president during 9/11. And he was like, are you sure about that? And he's like, yeah, it's his fault. And it was like, interesting. It's really interesting. And this is like a man in his like 40s. It's like he knows, if he really thought about it, he would be like, oh wait, Obama wasn't president during 9/11. That was like,
yeah,
I think that was like the first term for Bush Jr. Like, it was like so not Obama, so far off. It's like, what? These people are crazy.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, that is really dumb.
There's so many politics. I don't even know what to say.
Who's your politic?
Wait, let's take a break, and we'll come back after the break, and we'll talk more.
Okay.
Hello, my friends. It is I, Drew Michael, and I am here to tell you, well, I don't know, did you guys know that I love podcasting? It's literally my favorite thing in the entire world. And I use something called Anchor. Have you heard of Anchor by Spotify? Listen, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your own phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many, many more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. Just download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Again, download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And listen, podcasting is great. It's literally what I want to do with the rest of my life. If you just like to talk and hear yourself talk and, not force other people to hear you talk, but like give other people the opportunity to listen if they so choose, well, then there you go. You don't need friends. You just need to get a podcast. You don't need therapy. You just need a podcast. Or maybe you need all of those things. But you definitely should get a podcast because it's amazing. Okay, guys. Bye.
Hi, Leela. Oh, you got a little sweater.
I'm cold, I'm Lena.
She's like, why, Mommy? Why?
You get cold so easily.
You're wearing a
that's why.
coat inside.
No, I'm ridiculous too.
Oh my god. I'm afraid that I can't go back to the north again because, like, I am starting to come around to, like, living in the south. Like, I do get to wear a tank top and shorts, like, almost all year long.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of awesome.
but it is really hot here sometimes. The other day I ate a bowl of soup and I, like, couldn't stop sweating. I thought I was gonna die. I can't even, like, eat hot foods.
Yeah, it's way too hot in South Carolina. You need to find, like, a middle place.
Ugh.
Snow is awful, so is extreme heat.
I know. Being burned to death is terrible. Being frozen alive is also terrible.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Vanilla.
I ordered this book. I was I'm gonna say it the way I believe I pronounce their name. Alok Menon. I ordered this little book. It's called Beyond the Gender Binary. And it's just like a little booklet. Alok Menon is a non-binary, I think, poet and activist. And
Wait,
Yeah, it was on Jonathan Van Ness's show, weren't they?
They were on Jonathan Van Ness's show. And what's funny, Jonathan Van Ness did not write on the back, but Billy Porter, Sam Smith, and Princess Nokia did.
Aww.
And so this was actually
That's
like,
awesome.
they were like, for the first 500 people that, like, order it, we're gonna send you a free copy of this new little pocket book. And I'm gonna read it, but I'm so excited. I'm sure that 500 people have already ordered it, but it's only $8.99 in the US.
Ooh,
So
I love it.
Sam Smith said, when reading this book, all I feel is kindness.
Aww.
Oh, I know. It's so
You
sweet.
You can start like a non-binary book club.
Non-binary
Here's book club.
And in which I would be the only participant in town.
I would participate.
Oh, right. But I mean, like, if everyone was supposed to be non-binary in the book club, then it would be, like, just me.
Yeah. I
And
don't know
maybe,
if you'll
like,
find
it could be-
another.
Well, it could be virtual.
Yeah,
I would
definitely.
I would be all about having a virtual book club, except that I think that a big part of book clubs being fun is drinking, and I absolutely hate virtual happy hours. I think they're terrible.
You're basically drinking by yourself.
I can't. You know I have a problem drinking alone. I can't do it. I hate it.
Are you drinking now?
Right now I'm drinking a Perrier. I have kind of taken a little break from drinking. I was like so stressed out during our comedy show that every time I went to drink, it just made me feel more anxious because it was almost like I was like trying to take my mind off of all the stuff, and my mind was going like, no, there's too much shit to do. So I've just kind of like taken a little mini break, and even like right after the show, like we went out to like on Halloween, we went out to this costume event at the Marsh, and I just like didn't feel like, but I also realized that I really like need to be alone. Like I need my alone time, and I haven't been getting a lot of that. So like after that Marsh Walk like event, I went home and took like a sit down shower, and I like washed all my orifices, and like I even like shampooed, and I even conditioned, which I like never condition anymore because it makes my hair too poofy. But I was just like, I need to wash this comedy show off. Like it was so much work.
You're burying the lead a little bit. Like, shall we tell people about the comedy show first?
Oh, yeah, we should. Oh, we should, because I did mention it when I recorded with Chi Chi, but I haven't released that yet. So I'm talking like everyone knows. So we did a comedy show, and all the money went to PFLAG, and it was to help the LGBTQIA plus community in our town in South Carolina, and me and 3 queer comedians such as Ian A. Bear and Shauna Jarrett and Jen Snyder. We all had a lot of fun telling jokes, and a bunch of liberal people mostly, but a lot of my neighbors showed up, and a lot of my neighbors are not liberal, which made it very interesting. Because I wore like a dress for half the show, and I was like, wow, I'm pretty sure they've never seen a penis haver in a dress before. But it was fun.
You're so stylish. It was so fun. People can watch it on the PFLAG Facebook page. I think we sold out the show, and I think like we made a capacity for the room, which was like 120 people, right?
We did. We were up there. If you count like all the volunteers and sponsors and everyone there.
We made like $6,000, over $6,000, which smashed our stretch goal. I'm so proud of you, me, and Lexi for putting that together, because we did this with no money, and just like all of our cold hard kindness. That doesn't make sense. Just being kind.
Warm, soft kindness.
And just caring about about spreading joy and bringing change to this little community that I used to call home.
It was a lot. I mean, it means a lot to me to do it. I definitely at one point I was telling. Oh, is there a but? Did you say but?
But you also had a panic attack.
I had one really bad one, and then one, like a couple mini ones. But,
and we all had stress nightmares at different points.
Yeah, we all had stress nightmares. No, but there was a point when I was telling my mom that like it feels like we're doing all this work so that the future can be a lot brighter for younger people. But some of the things we're trying to achieve for them, like we still don't even have for ourselves. And it's nowhere near the battle that like the gays and the lesbians and the queers and the trans people fought before us. 'Cause I mean, they were fighting for their fucking lives. But I still feel a little bit like we're paving the way for people that will only have the rights if we help to preserve them or earn them, like right now. So
That was really poignant.
Well, it's yeah.
And Scott DeBow still won school board. He was like the whole reason
Well,
why we started this, didn't it?
They are doing a recount.
Oh, thank God.
They're doing a recount. And by the way, I don't think he's a member at my gym anymore.
Oh.
I'm also not employed at the company that suspended me because I talked shit about him. That was all true. So I'm not really sure if there's anything holding me back any longer. But they found that there's all these really weird things happening with the ballots for that.
Really?
Basically, there were a bunch of people who were given ballots with names that weren't like appearing. Like there weren't all the options weren't there.
Oh, no way. Wow. That's terrible.
What's weird is I had someone say that to me, that they were doing a recount because of that, or they were doing a recount anyway because it was close, but that was coming up for some reason. And then I remembered that I was talking to one of my students' husbands the other day, and he was asking me, he's like, I don't even know who won school board. Like, do you know? Because I just voted and I wasn't paying attention. And I said, oh, this person and this person. And he was like, who's that? And I was like, oh, it's you could pick two people from this, from the at-large category, because there's 2 seats to fill at large. And then there's 1 seat that's specifically for this part of the county for school board. And he was looking at me like, those names weren't on my ballot. And I was like, this was before I heard about names being omitted. So then I said to the person who told me about that, I know a person who that happened to. And then I was like, what is going on?
Oh, shit.
And I don't like, because right now it's like the people calling out like that there's election issues, like those people are all assholes. I don't like to be that person. But it does seem like people only call out that there's election issues when things aren't going the way they want it to. But I'm just making an observation that this is what I was told.
Yeah. I mean, it's gone smoothly most every other time since this past one. So
yeah,
it's pretty incredible. So like the fact that there's like one blip out of all these other elections is not like it's just like not statistically something that we need to worry about. But it does suck though that like that happened.
It does. And but we don't know. I think we're gonna know like I think they're gonna do a recount like tomorrow or something.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
And hopefully the fact that I didn't vote.
It might come down to 1 vote.
It came down to 1 vote. It's all my fault.
I think it has come down to like 4 votes in reality.
Yeah.
But also there was like Lexi was like, who the fuck wrote a name in? Like there's so like funny. 6 write-ins or something, and they're like, what name do they write in? I mean, it was kind of like the lesser of 2 evils, like you had to vote for, and I hate that so much about our system, but
yeah.
I mean, it was like someone who's anti-gay and anti-people of color, or someone who's just anti-gay. And it's like, okay, well, I guess that one.
I guess I understand why people do write-ins then, but it's pretty garbage. Yeah, I think that's like another one of my takeaways about this whole election thing is that like you often have to choose between like the lesser of 2 evils, but there's also like so much money involved always. Like people say like, oh, this is democracy worked this time because like it like there wasn't like widespread confusion about like who like the winners were, at least like in most other places. But like it's it's not actually democracy when you have like hundreds of millions of dollars being thrown towards candidates, and like you're spending all this money for ads and for favors, and it's just so disgusting. It's like if I wanted to run for any sort of office, like I wouldn't be able to do that unless I like can milk like millions of dollars off of people. It's disgusting.
Right.
This is not democracy.
Well, what is this guy who won Pennsylvania? Fetterman or whatever?
Yeah, I actually like him.
Is he an underdog? Like, did he, like, kind of a Bernie Sanders thing where he is, like, millions of $1 donations, or?
So he's, like, he uses that image of him being, like, an everyday, like, I wear a hoodie and jeans and I'm really tall. I'm going to fight for you, the little man. But he went to Harvard and he was lieutenant governor. So I think he came from money. He was like the mayor of some town in Pennsylvania. And because of that, his salary was really low. So he lived off of his parents until his 40s. So like he comes from money.
Yeah.
And yeah, it wasn't like a case of like Bernie Sanders where people were just contributing like dollar here and there. Like he had like the establishment behind him.
But he's always worn a hoodie. Like he's worn it throughout being mayor, lieutenant governor. He just never wore a suit, or what?
I don't know.
I mean,
I didn't know who this person was until like he started running for senator.
I was like, I saw a picture of him and I thought, who the fuck is this guy? Like wearing a hoodie, and why is he running against Dr. Oz? And I was like, is it literally that anyone could be president now? Like, what is going on? What is going on?
I mean, it's better. I mean, I like John Fetterman. Like his policies are things that I agree with. He wants to legalize marijuana. He is like, he's hard on tough policing. Like he doesn't believe in like the militarization of the police. He supports fracking though, which is just stupid. But like a lot of the things that he believes in politically are very, very liberal. So that is good for Pennsylvania, or for like people like us who care about these issues. But like I actually think that more people who are regular everyday Joes should be running for office. Because like a lot of the reason why people in Pennsylvania voted for him is because they thought that he was very just average Joe. And he also had a stroke during the campaign that like nearly killed him, but he was able to bounce back from it. And he kind of used it as a way to say like, hey, look, like a lot of people who go out there have had heart attacks or strokes and they show up to work every day, even though they have a disability. So that was actually kind of cool, and it made people like him even more.
Yeah. Well, it's also, I don't think he's the first politician running in a campaign that's had a stroke. Like, it's so stressful.
Yeah.
Like, I think they tried to cover up Hillary Clinton having a stroke or something once.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
She had
like a cold.
Yeah, she was like, "Rah!" And her brain did something crazy, and they were like, oops, she's just, she had too much hot sauce or something. And now she's taking a nap. I don't know. It was weird. But, I mean, it's funny, too, when people they try to say, well, do we really want to, elect someone who could possibly just, like, die in the first, like, 100 days or something? And it's like, there are systems in place to, like, if an elected official dies, like, there is someone to step into their place. And, like, they might even hold another election, like, just to find someone, but depending on what the position is. But, I don't know, it's so stupid. I mean, we literally have been electing presidents in their 70s for the last, like, 2 presidents.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah. Joe Biden's going to be 80 soon.
They can't get any older. Like, honestly, they just really can't.
I don't want to run the country when I'm 80. I don't even want to run the country, like, now.
I mean, oh my God, do you think, this is my question, how many naps a day do you think Joe Biden takes?
I hope he takes at least 4.
Well,
That sounds like a
I was going to say 2, but that's, I mean, I'm assuming anytime they're like on Air Force One, he's like snoozing. Anytime, like, you know, he's in the Oval Office, he shuts his eyes for a few minutes.
Yeah. Do you think you could ever run for office?
I do think I could. I don't think I want to be president, but I wouldn't mind being like a senator.
Oh, that'd be really hot.
Or a congressperson.
A state congressperson? Like, you want to, like, run this in the state house, or do you want to be in D.C.?
I think I'd rather be in D.C. I basically want to be Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Ooh, yeah, you should, like, move back to New York and start and primary against her.
Oh, I don't want to run against her. I want to be, like, BFFs with her. Like,
oh, you want to be in the squad with her? I think that's so hot.
I think so. I just think, like, I've been in positions as of late that where I, like, kind of got to take some leadership and tell people this and that. And then also, like, I think I would be really good at representing the interests of the people in my community. Like, I feel like, I mean, unless I ran for office in the current community I'm living in, I don't know that the majority interest would be mine. But obviously I would move somewhere where, you know, I agreed with the people in my community.
Yeah.
And then I represent them.
Yeah.
Is that an ideal world?
You could be on, like, a town council. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, maybe. And I'm also thinking, though, that, like, small time politics I might just get, like, really upset and bored and just, like, frustrated with how petty it is. Like, I might want to do something bigger. So obviously you can't start at the top. I can't just become a governor. But maybe I could become a mayor and then become a lieutenant governor and then become a governor.
Yeah, you definitely need to, like, start somewhere unless you're Donald Trump.
I didn't go to Harvard, but neither did Donald Trump. So there's that.
Yeah.
So let me tell you something crazy that happened.
Go on.
You'll recall that I had issues with my phone because my phone was too full, and I told you that, like, I went to Verizon and he told me that I had like 576 downloaded podcasts on my phone. And I said, crazy. I didn't even know that they downloaded when I was listening to them. He said that of my 256 gigabytes of, like, 247 was full. I later realized that more than that was full. He was just, like, being nice. And he suggested I go through all my text messages and just, like, delete old ones. And, you know, because, like, if you have a picture on your phone in your pictures and then you send it to someone, now you have the same picture twice in your phone. It takes up the space of 2 pictures. And then if you send it to 1 million more people, and that includes, like, GIFs and memes and whatever, screenshots, if they've ever been in a text thread, they're taking up space on your phone. So I'm like, oh my God, I never delete my text messages. And I was able to go back to 2018 in my text messages. So that's like 5 years of texts.
Yeah.
All sorts of texts with so many dick pics. Today, Lexi asked me, we were at the donut shop, and she asked me, she's like, what percentage of your phone is penis? And I said, that's impossible to say, but it's more penis than phone.
I I was gonna ask if it was like more than like 50%, but that definitely sounds
It's a
like
lot
it
of
is.
penis. And I think I still haven't checked in with anybody as to like how many dick pics I've deleted off my phone, but it's a lot, and that purge continues. I just haven't felt like purging dicks lately because all I want is dicks in me. So I have not.
Big.
But okay, so I went back and found all these old text messages, and a lot of the texting I was doing in 2018, I think that was before my parents retired, because I think they retired at the beginning of 2020. So I was doing like a lot of texting of like hot, sexy boys. And I found a lot of these conversations, and I decided that for some of them, like a lot of them, it was just like we were talking, we were having a really good conversation, and then we just like stopped talking, and I'm not sure why. So I was like, maybe I'll see if these guys will respond if I text them, 4 or 5 years later. And I'd just be like, hey, you remember me, blah, blah, blah. So I've done that with a few of these guys. One guy was like, oh, I think it didn't work out between us because he lived in Charleston, and it was like he told me he was too ADHD to like drive to see me, so I was gonna have to like drive to see him. And I was like, I feel like we could just meet halfway. He's like, no, I'm too ADHD, like I'll drive my car into like a tree, I'll get so bored. And I was like, okay, this seems really petty. I was like, why don't you just take a Ritalin, and then like you can come and like fuck me with your Ritalin penis, like. And anyway, so that didn't work out. But I messaged him. He's since moved to Austin, which is like even further away than Charleston. So I don't think that's gonna work out. There was another guy who was, he was a horticulturist.
Ooh.
And I remember he lived in this town in the middle of South Carolina where like there was a botanical gardens or something. And he was like really tall and cute. And I was like, we were having a delightful conversation. And I was like, oh my God, a horticulturist would be like the best boyfriend for me. Like, oh my God. And I'm going to Google horticulture and see what it means. But I knew it had to do with plants. And so we had a lovely conversation, and then it just ended. And I think maybe it ended with me like messaging him like 2 or 3 times being like, hey, how's it going? And then no reply. So I was like, okay, this guy's over me. So anyway, I messaged him the other day, and because I kind of thought like, why didn't this work out? Like, did I say something to offend him? I mean, that happens a lot, I guess. And so he was like, hey, what's up? And he's like, who is this? And I explained myself, and he's like, oh, I do remember you. And he said, well, I said, how you doing? He said, well, life's different. He was like, I have since been fired from that job, and I moved back to Ohio. And then a bunch of bad shit happened. And I was like, oh, wow, I'm so sorry to hear that. And so then he said, oh, I went back and found our conversations on OkCupid, because like, you start on OkCupid, and then like, it just like their app sucks so much that you have to like go over to texting. So you like give them your number and switch over. But he's like, I found our conversation on OkCupid. So I'm seeing your pictures. I remember you. And I was like, oh, I should go find him on OkCupid, because I just want to see his pictures, and maybe he's posted some new ones. And I noticed something that I did not notice originally, and I will tell you in a second what that was. I wasn't sure if it was something that had always been the case or if it was a new thing, because I have missed things like this in the past when seeing pictures of people online.
Okay.
But this guy has had both of his legs amputated from the thighs down.
Oh, wow. That's like a really big thing to miss.
And I'm pretty sure, because I went in on his profile to see, like, what's he written? Has he written something about losing his legs? And he was like, yep, I lost my legs. And I was like,
he ignored that entirely.
I was like, oh my God, like, so after we talked, you lost your job, moved home, lost your legs. I don't know how he lost his legs, but I was like, holy shit. And then I decided to go through our old conversations and like, you know, when you're talking and whatever, you like talk a lot about like, well, what's your body look like? Like, what's your penis look like? We were talking about body and he was like, we didn't actually show each other our penises, but he was like, yeah, I like my body all right. Like, I'm a little hairy, like, whatever. He's like, I really don't like my torso very much. It's just kind of like whatever. He's like, but what I really like is my legs.
Oh, no.
And I was like, was this might have been the last documented case of him loving his legs before... Because you don't know, because you're talking to someone and then they don't talk to you anymore and you're thinking to yourself like, well, what happened? Why isn't he talking to me? Maybe he got run over by a car the next day. Like, I don't know when he lost his legs.
Did he lose his job after he lost his legs?
I don't know, because I feel like I can't ask him more questions about it. You know, like...
I feel so bad for him.
I do too.
I did not expect the story to turn out this way.
It's so like really like this is life. Is this real life?
Wow. I don't know what to say. That's really shitty.
I mean, what I got out of it was I was like, okay, you should love your whole fucking body, because like, if we're put on this planet to like learn to love ourselves or whatever, to learn lessons and experience all the things, like if you're going to lose some part of your body, of course it's going to be the part of your body that you loved. Like, you're not going to lose the part of your body you hate. You're going to be left with only that. And then you're going to have to learn to fucking love it.
I know. Oh man, I really love my legs, but yeah.
But you also love your torso.
I love my torso. I'm gonna give him extra love, my body today. Just gonna love myself tonight.
You're gonna do some extra snow angels.
Yeah, was that your sexy thing for the conversation?
Not even, but
okay.
I think that some of the guys that I've reconnected with, like, one guy was like, I really don't know why we stopped talking. I don't know why any of us stopped talking. I mean, we must have just lost interest or something, but this guy's like really cute. And I also think that this was all pre-COVID, right? So I think that like some of these guys were maybe like, they weren't desperate enough. I wasn't desperate enough. But now we've gone through like nuclear winter. You know, we've gone through a pandemic. We've been like, for a lot of reasons, I don't think a lot of us have been having sex. And I mean us as in like queer men around here.
Yeah.
And
monkeypox.
I mean, it was already like slim pickings. And then a pandemic happened, and then the monkeypox happened. And what's funny is I haven't even thought about monkeypox for like, I talked about it with Chi-Chi, I think, but like I haven't talked about it since then. Or like before that for like maybe 3 months, since like the big outbreak happened and everyone's like, ah.
We talked about monkeypox.
You and I talked about it, but that was like months ago.
Right.
It just, time has been flying by. But yeah, so there's all these things. So I think that, like, I messaged this one guy, he's super cute, his name is Bradley, and he, like, was basically like, when can we fuck? And I was like, oh my God, like, tomorrow? He's like, sure.
What?
So not exactly, but, like, we are planning to fuck, or, like, do something sexual, like, I think in the next 2 weeks.
Amazing! I'm so happy for you. But you feel, I think all your things were leading to like, oh my God, like that there's been such like a pause in activity that it feels foreign to you.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be super weird. I mean, I don't actually think that like I said to him, I said like, should we have like a date? And he was like, well, I'm not really looking for a relationship. And I was like, no. Like I'm not either. I really need to meet you before we just hook up. Like it's been such a long time since I've hooked up with anybody. I really just need to like maybe have coffee and then like if we feel anything good in that first. Plus, like he said he lives with his brother. I live with my parents. Oh, this was really funny. He said, "Do you live alone?" I said, "No, I live with my parents." And he goes, "Oh, how old are you?" And I was like, "Oh, bitch." I was like, "I'm 36." He's like, "Oh, no judgment. I just wanted to know." And I was like, "Yeah, right." I was like, "Listen, bitch, COVID-19, whatever."
Did
But
he tell you how old he is?
oh, he's like 37.
Okay.
But he rents an apartment or he shares a house with his brother, so it's like a little bit more distinguished than what I'm doing. But basically,
Whatever.
I'm like, yeah, we should probably fuck at your place or just like wherever we have coffee, we'll have sex in the bathroom.
I'm excited for you. Don't psych yourself out too much about it because it's gonna feel like riding a bike.
It's going to feel like hopefully better than
Plus
riding
orgasms.
better than riding a bike. I don't love the feeling of riding a bike. But yeah, I hope it's like riding a bike that slaps me in my genitals like with a feather repeatedly.
Ooh, I'm so happy for your genitals.
I'm so happy for them too. You're probably going to get laid before I do though.
Viv comes in on the 21st, so if all goes well, then I will be having lots of sex.
Lots of snow sex.
Mm-hmm.
Is the bathtub you're currently using big enough for two bodies?
Oh, totally.
Oh, so hot.
Yeah. I feel like much more entitled to be loafing around here and sexing around this house now that like I've been stranded here without a car, just spent a lot of money on a rental. So I'm just gonna like bust open like all the whiskey and eat all the food and have all the sex in the house.
Yeah, it's like a funny thing when you're in like a family home or something, you for like the first couple days, like you're alone, you think like, oh, someone could come back. Like maybe they forgot their something and they have to come back. But once you've been there alone for days and like, you know, cabin fever is beginning to set in, you're kind of just like, I don't even care if they come home and I'm just like lying naked in the snow with their whiskey bottle in my cooch or something.
It's like, you let me live here. You know that I'm terrible.
Yeah.
Wait, so how did you meet this person again? The man you're hooking up with?
His name is Bradley. I think it's safe to say.
Bradley.
Well, I don't know. I think it was another one of those like met on OkCupid, started texting, and then, but yeah, I mean, he's just like kind of cute. Again, okay, I'll show you a picture. He kind of looks like he might murder me.
You have a thing for those kind of guys.
Yeah, so maybe then we transition into the segment known as Would He Murder Me?
Okay.
There was another couple of cute guys. I mean, there was a bunch of cute guys. And some of them didn't even respond. I mean, it's been 5 years. Some people get new phones. You know, there's all sorts of things. So does he look like... Can you see? I don't know. Is my camera working?
He's really cute.
Yeah, he's cute.
Yeah. He kind of looks like Will Arnett.
Oh, yeah, he kind of does. He has, like... He's got, like, a little nose, little face. He's got blue eyes, which is nice. Also, that picture was sent... Was that picture sent recently? I think that picture was sent, like, back in the day. That was, like, 5 years ago. He might look completely different now. I should probably ask for a newer picture. Or maybe that was just recently sent. Oh, it was. Just kidding. But it's probably not. You know, he's probably catfishing me. It's probably, like, old. But, yeah, so that's exciting. And I mean, I'm also just, like, I don't know. I've been talking to this guy that I dated. I went on a couple dates with, like, a while back again. I really don't like him. He's got really big hair. It's
Like,
unnecessary.
what do you mean by that?
He's got unnecessarily, like, he makes his hair bigger on purpose.
Like, kind of like a Farrah Fawcett big, or like fro big, or mullet big?
It's like, here, let me find a picture. It's like I don't know, it's like he puts mousse in it and then just kind of like makes it stand on end. Okay, this is his hair.
Oh.
Like, stuck my finger in a light socket.
He looks like Eraserhead.
He is. I feel like he could. And then there's this one where it's not so big, but it still looks like he's wearing like a toupee on top of a toupee.
Oh.
And I think he's got like kind of a long face.
He's kind of putting his personality in his hair, which is fine. A lot of us do that. But, I mean, if he's still a cutie, even with his eraser head.
Well, I also remember, I mean, there's nothing wrong with him other than that. But I do remember that one time, like, we were at that gay bar. I'd like met him and some other people there. And, I was just like not feeling him and I really. And then like this other guy was there who was really cute, and I started talking to him on the dance floor, and then like I kept trying to like run away from the first guy and like avoid him so I could talk to the second guy. And then the first guy kept popping up and being like, "Hey, what's up?" And I kept being like, "Ah, like, no. No." Wait, this is a picture where he looks kind of good.
Aw, yeah, I like that one.
I mean, he's
more
cute.
normal.
I don't know. I think I might hang out with him based on this picture alone.
Totally.
But yeah, so there's some stuff. Plus, I think that I was told by a mutual person that I know, this guy and I both know, that he's exclusively like a power bottom. And I am like, I'm not exclusively anything, but I don't like know that I can handle someone who's exclusively a thing. Because then I just feel like I have to do a thing, and I'm just like, oh, I don't want to feel like I have to do that thing.
I think you should just go out with him, see where things go. But I think all in all, I'm encouraged by like all of these sexy things that you're doing, like putting feelers out there, going on dates, reaching out to folks. I like that a lot.
I like it too. I think I've gotten, like, I'm having a spring awakening this fall. A fall awakening.
I love it.
Have you heard?
Falling forward.
Have you heard that, like, daylight savings is not going to happen anymore?
I did hear about that because the Senate voted to just have standard time, but, like, the House did not agree on that, and so we're still going to switch back and forth until we figure shit out.
Well, that's fucking terrible. I was so excited.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it so much. I think it's literally bad for my health to, like, twice a year just change the time like it's totally normal.
Do you feel exhausted or just wacky?
It does. I think I'm not sure how much I, like, know about circadian rhythms, but, like, I feel... Well, it's always easier in the fall, obviously, but in the spring, I feel like it's a kick in my fucking ass. And I also think that, like, I'm already, like, kind of fucked up because of my allergies in the spring. So to take away an hour of sleep is like, oh, Jesus. This
Yeah.
well, this daylight savings time or whatever, this November
Standard time.
standard, right? I woke up extra early, and I completely forgot. Of course, I woke up extra early, and I was like, oh, cool. And I took my time to get ready for work and everything, because I don't work till like noon on Sundays. And then I was like looking at the time on the oven or the microwave or whatever, that doesn't change automatically. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta go like now to work. Like, I'm just gonna have to take my breakfast with me. And then I looked at my phone and was like, wait a second, what? And then I finally understood that I just didn't change the clocks. But so I had a whole hour. I was like an hour early for everything on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I like being that early way less than I like being late. Like, it just is like, what am I going to do for an hour?
Yeah, I hear you on the time change. I was like just really hungry at odd hours. Like, I mean, right now I currently eat food at like 5:30 because I don't have anything else to do. I have nothing to do but eat and sleep. But yeah, the other day I was hungry at like 4:30.
Yeah.
Just felt like an 80-year-old.
Well, and if I don't sleep enough, the next day I like get so hungry. Like, my body's like, you need to like synthesize some form of energy like now, like any way you can. And I'd just be like, okay, well, give me like all that leftover Halloween candy then. Please.
Well, get some candy.
I ate so much Halloween candy. Okay, so for our comedy show, we had some like big daddy sponsors. One of them was my therapist, and we created swag bags for those sponsors, and I basically bought like a $15 bag of candy bars that was like, I don't know how much that even weighed. Like, I feel like it weighed like 5 pounds. And then just decided I would split it evenly between the sponsors, the big sponsors, but we only had 2. And I thought like maybe we would get like a third, but we never did. So I just split that 15-pound or 5-pound or whatever it was bag of candy between 2 swag bags, and then I put like a t-shirt on top and a pair of Ouija board socks and like a sticker. And I was like, there you go, there's your swag bag. So I told my therapist Todd about the swag bag, and he's like, what's in it? And I said, well, it's it's like a bunch of candy and like a t-shirt and whatever. And he was like, oh, well, he's like, can you just donate it to someone? And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I don't need all that candy, man. And I was like, well, fuck. I was like, that means I'm gonna have to eat it, and then I'm gonna have to fucking talk to you about it. So my therapist offloaded all this candy on me, and I'd already been eating candy out of his bag like all week because I was stressed. But it was so much more. Like, one day my mom caught me just sitting at the dining room table. Like, I'd eaten like 3 Reese's cups, like 4 Rolos, like 3 Whoppers, and like 2 boxes of Milk Duds.
Oh man, are you eating your feelings, or are you just bored?
Well, there's a thing that people like me do where, like, if you just have a bunch of shitty food in the house, you just like have to get rid of it. So you just like eat it really fast and poop it out, and then it's gone.
Yeah. I'm learning to treat food. There's no bad food. All food is neutral. And like, so you shouldn't feel bad about eating that candy.
Right.
I think that's how
until your teeth are literally falling out of your head.
Yeah.
Which I don't have that issue, but some people do.
You can compensate, but not compensate. You'll just have a salad next time because you love it.
Well, and that's one thing I definitely do now. Like, if I see a fruit or a vegetable and it looks appealing to me, I buy it. I'm like, yes. Because how fucking often is that going to happen? Like, so today I bought like a salad. I was like, it had like corn, it had like tomato and like cucumber and some fresh mozzarella, and it had like radicchio. I told Lexi it was ridiculous. I was like, I really have to buy it. And she went like, okay. was her response. It was her response to my gorgeous wordplay. But I ate that salad in my car before I did 30 minutes of cardio. And I've been doing cardio because I honestly think it saves my mental health. Like, it's so good for releasing endorphins. And like I said to somebody recently, like, I just need to release more good chemicals because my body has had like a lot of like sad, depressing chemicals in it lately.
Yeah, you and we both get to just relax a bit more now that we don't have to worry about the show.
Yeah.
And just like, also, we're going to celebrate when I get into town next month. So,
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't even believe
yeah.
that. You're going to be here in like, what's today's date? You're going to be here, what day do you fly in again?
The 12th.
So you're going to be here in exactly a month from today, or 2 days from now.
Yes.
That's so exciting. And we're going to have so much fun. We're going to do a sexy gift exchange.
Yes. Yeah, I'm your naughty Santa.
Yeah, you're my naughty Santa. I'm Lexi's naughty Santa, and she's your right? She's your naughty Santa?
Correct.
And we encourage everyone listening to buy sex toys for their loved ones this year. Well, that became a big thing during COVID, and I think that it should continue. It's a good tradition, I think. Also, like, I think that it could also just be like, well, I'm not sure like what way we should go with this. Like, if it should be like sex toys that like we think the person would really genuinely enjoy and use often, or if it should just be something we think is like educational, or if we think it's just going to be funny to unbox.
Oh, I already know what I'm getting you. So
Don't tell me.
I'm not gonna.
I'm excited.
It's neither of it. It's not educational.
Okay. Interesting. Give me 3 guesses. No, I'm kidding. Do you have anything else you want to share with us?
I'm gonna get married in January.
Oh my God. Well, I'm still waiting to see that to believe it.
Okay.
But are you getting married in England?
I'm gonna get married in Denmark, maybe.
Oh my
Or
God.
possibly Gibraltar. Or like talking to a wedding planner and everything.
Okay, I don't know where Gibraltar is. Is that in France?
It's an imaginary
Spain?
place that the Beatles made up, but it turns out it's a real place. After doing some research, it's south of Spain.
Okay, so it's like, but is it like a part of that country, or is it like its own country?
It's a colony of the UK, so like they use the pound. They all speak English. It's kind of like England, but on a rock.
Do they allow pit bulls?
No,
Oh,
no,
terrible
you
place.
can't go there.
Are you guys
Really
thinking
can't go.
about living in Gibraltar?
No, we wouldn't. No, the reason why Viv and I are getting married is because we want to live together somewhere in America.
Oh. Can I just trade my citizenship with him? Like, he could be American and I'll be English?
What could happen is I could marry him, get his citizenships, and then I could marry you, and then you can get my citizenships. Does it transfer that way?
Can you be married to different people in different countries?
No.
Why not? Who's stopping
I
me?
had to divorce Viv first.
Well, here's hoping that you never get divorced once you've gotten married, unless you want to, of course.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so before we're finished, who is the number one politic from this whole midterms?
Wow. Definitely. Ooh, that's really hard. Per one.
You kept bringing up that Hochul guy or Verkel or what his name is.
Herschel Walker?
Yeah.
Definitely Herschel Walker is number one, but I was trying to think like if like Carrie Lake was like a bigger politic than Herschel Walker. But yeah, Herschel Walker is number one politic, followed by JD Vance and then Carrie Lake. There you go. That's
How
three
about
politics.
that fucking maniac who's running in Arizona?
Yeah, Carrie Lake.
Wait, what?
She's running for governor.
No, but there's a man running. Maybe it's not Arizona. Maybe it's a different southwestern state. He's like a skinny, tall guy, and he's like new on the scene, but he's like insane. And he's a Trumper, and he like...
Is it Blake Masters? I don't like him either.
Yeah, fucking Blake Masters. God damn it. Where's he at?
Arizona is the worst.
Is that Arizona?
Yeah, it is Arizona.
Wait, but is he up against Carrie Lake?
No, he's running for for Congress. Or, I don't know what he's running for, but it also sucks. I don't know if it's Senate. It must be a representative because Mark Kelly is running for Senate against some idiot Republican. They're all idiots, aren't they? If they're Republican.
Do you know who's running in every single state?
No, I don't. Not at all.
Just the Republicans.
Just if I hate them.
Yeah. If they made your shit list.
Yeah. But Herschel Walker is definitely the worst. I don't know why anybody would vote for him.
My biggest politics are Governor Abbott, because I fucking hate him. Obviously DeSantis. I wish we could like put them both on a sinking ship and they just like get eaten by sharks.
Yeah.
And then whoever defeated Stacey Abrams.
Oh, you are really against governors, Republican governors. That's Brian Kemp. He's the current governor. So
yeah,
actually, all the Republican governors stayed Republican governors. So
well, Masters. What's the name? Greg McMasters. What's the South Carolina governor?
Henry McMaster?
Henry McMasters is still our governor.
He is, yeah. Joe Cunningham did not do well.
Oh, Joe Cunningham is so hot.
I know. He's so hot. I agree.
I would let him do things.
He's too good for South Carolina.
But is he a South Carolinian? Is he like, this is his home? Like, he wants to make it better?
Yeah. He was a congressman, and he did really great things. And then he lost to Nancy Mace, and Nancy Mace got reelected this past election too. So,
well, Cunningham did win 40% of the vote, which is like pretty amazing in a red state.
Is it?
I think so. It was close. It was pretty close. I mean, I don't think there's that many liberals where I live, and everyone around here is like transplants from up north.
Is so red. I was looking at the breakdown, and it's heavily Republican.
Yeah, it's really, really quite intense living here.
Anyway. I didn't vote. The whole kicker is I never got my absentee ballot, so I don't even have a voice in this.
You made it sound like you were like, it's gonna be easier to vote absentee. Like, I bet you they went through all of the hassle of sending it to you. They probably like expedited it, and then the minute the plane landed in Montana, it like got put on the back of a horse-drawn carriage or like a honing pigeon, and it's like still somewhere. Like stuck in a drift.
It's gonna bounce back to South Carolina. I feel so bad for not voting. So everything I say doesn't matter. You can just delete the podcast.
We're gonna delete it. No, you were very you knew us so much that I didn't know, and I hope someone will write in and tell us that we were both wrong and challenge our opinions.
Totally. I love being your political correspondent on the show.
I know. We have to come up with like a fun, cute little name for you, like Priscilla Politico.
Yeah.
Priscillico.
Yeah, I like it.
I've been thinking about renaming the podcast, but I don't know how I would do that or if I should.
Oh no! Oh, I like your podcast name.
I do too, but every once in a while I think like with sex in the title, it feels like there's so much pressure to talk about sex and there's so many other things that I want to talk about. But all the things, like when we talk about politics, I always say that these kinds of things affect our bodies, like the decisions that our political leaders make and our lawmakers make, like affect our bodies and our lives, in our communities. So it's like important to talk about this shit.
Definitely. And we talk about sexy things too.
It's important to be smart and slutty.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing I'm realizing is that there's all these podcasts out that aren't sex podcasts, but they talk about sex just as much as we do, and some of them are like quite raunchy. Like even Chelsea Handler gets sexy sometimes.
She totally does. Yeah, I like it. So, well, there was, what did I say that would be a good podcast name? I don't know. Dear Drew.
Dear Drew. I would call it that if anybody would write in. Okay, let me thank you for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Priscilla. It's so nice to see you. I can't wait to see your face in person.
I'll see you in person in a month.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey friends, thank you so much for listening. And just a reminder again to please rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast to support us. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter at MakeSexPod, on Instagram at MakeSexWithMePodcast, and you can send us an email if you would want to. If you would please send us an email at MakeSexWithMePodcast@gmail.com. And I hope that you all are filling your holes with whatever makes you happy. Bye-bye!